All right, we're going to go through all the zodiac signs. We're going to find out what blessing is going to be bestowed upon you. What blessing is coming in for you because you deserve it. Okay, all signs. Let's start with Aries. What blessing is coming towards you, Aries, that you deserve? Okay. What blessing is coming towards Aries? What blessing is coming towards Aries? Stronger relationships, not stronger connections, and not just with people that you share blood with, but people that you meet that have shared interests, the same love for life and for growth and for I feel like Aries, the blessing that's coming in is you being able to connect with people that really vibe with you on such a deep level that you can be super vulnerable with. Okay, it's somebody that you like these aren't surface level connections. These are people that you can literally be naked around, that you can be vulnerable with. You can show them the darkest parts of you and they will still love you, they will still support you, they will still be there for you. Something here about a bonfire as well. You could be spending time with people around the fire, a bonfire, a cookout, or something like that. This is the time where you really come together and you really vibe out with people. And they could be people of different complexion, different races, different cultural backgrounds. I feel like you meet people that you can relate to on a soul level. And it really doesn't matter about social status. It doesn't matter about what jobs you work and where you live and who you were born to and things of that sort. Like, it doesn't matter. It just matters on, like, do we understand each other on a soul level? Like, what are you, it's like, what do you think about aliens? And what do you think about, world peace and like conversations like that? I mean, those are so like so random, but I'm saying like you're able to have these really deep conversations with people, and I think that's the blessing that's coming in for you because you deserve it. I feel like you could be someone who didn't grow up having those connections with the people, with family, right? You've kind of waited your entire life to be able to connect with people who would love you and respect you, and care for you the way that you thought that your blood family would treat you, right? Your mother and your father, your siblings, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, and stuff like that. You may feel like you don't have those deep connections with those people, but you're going to be able to have it. And it's so interesting because the fire is red. Here, the flame here is red, Aries, which again, it gives me this energy about blood, about connection, where it doesn't have to be just the blood that runs through your veins. That those are the people that you're connected to, right? It's not just about DNA. It's about the love for self and the love for just people as a whole. So that is the blessing that's coming in here for you, Aries. Taurus, the blessing that's coming in for you, Taurus. The blessing that's coming in for you, Taurus. What's the blessing that's coming in for Taurus? Bear fruit. The number 40 could be significant. Someone could be turning 40 this year. Okay, this is definitely a milestone age. You've been on this planet for decades. Okay, but the bear fruit energy, wow. This is beautiful. This is a very abundant energy for you, Taurus. This is an energy of exactly what it states, bearing fruit. The things that you have, where you have planted your seeds, you are starting to bear fruit. The abundance that's coming in are the resources, the fruit that is growing from the seeds that you've been planting. Okay, the seeds that you've been planting in your relationships, the seeds that you've been planting in your career, the seeds that you've been planting within your children, the virtues, the characteristics, the qualities. I feel like you've been planting seeds for quite a long time, and you're getting you're finally being recognized. You're finally being supported. You're finally getting what you deserve after a time where you kind of just had to cultivate and cultivate. You kind of had to keep planting seeds. You've been through seasons where, you know, the fruit that you were trying to bear, it molded, it died out, you know. And then you had to replant seeds, you know, relationships that you invested years of your life that just fell apart, right? That ended. Careers that you spent a lot of your time, your money, resources, and just like, you know, trying to make, you know, be there to grow that career and it didn't work. Businesses that you may have started that have flopped, you know. This is telling me that you, and you can see these people in the picture, they're kind of just relaxing. They're out in the water, they're relaxing, and it's like this is a season for you, Taurus, where you bear fruit and you get to kind of just sit back and relax. You've been working so hard, Taurus. You've been working your ass off, okay? You've been working so hard, and now you're finally able to kind of just I did a good job. You know when you get to sit back and finally reflect and you're just like, wow, I did that. You know, you didn't get to do that for quite a long time. You know what I mean? You kind of just had to keep your head down and just keep working, keep working, keep working, keep doing. Okay? Stay consistent. Stay working at it. And of course there were days that you wanted to give up. Of course there were days where you struggled, but overall you just said, you know what? I know that something is going to come. You know, I know that the work that I'm putting in now is going to provide me with the results that I'm looking for, and I just have to keep going. Okay. That's exactly what you did, and the blessing that's coming in for you is the fruit. You're finally going to bear witness to the fruit. This could almost be literal for a lot of you guys too, where you tried to grow gardens, you tried to grow fruit, you tried to grow vegetables and flowers, and you know you wanted to grow a garden, but it just wasn't, you know, blooming in the way that you wanted it to. And that could be happening, but it's definitely a figurative sense where it's your career is taking off, or your business is taking off, or you're finally getting that relationship that you've invested so long into. Okay, bearing fruit. Wow, that is beautiful. Okay, that's beautiful. All right, Gemini, what is the blessing that's coming in for you? What's the blessing that's coming in for Gemini? Blessing coming in for Gemini. The evil eye. Okay. So the evil eye for me is telling me that you're finally going to see things as they are with this evil eye. Like you're going to be able to see who's working against you, you know, what their intentions are. Like, I just feel like you're going to be able to see things as they are. Like, you're going to finally realize, wow, this person's been actually working against me. You're also going to realize, like, that you've been telling people too much of your information. Like, there's someone that's close to you that you have a lot of love for, Gemini, that you keep telling this person, you know, what you're doing in your personal life. You keep telling them how you're feeling or what you're going through, and you don't know what they're secretly doing behind the scenes with that information. So I feel like you're going to find out about a specific person, maybe specific people who have kind of been working in the shadows trying to work against you, or that's sending you the evil eye. They're sending you the evil eye. They're wanting things to fail in your life, right? They're smiling in your face, telling you that they're happy for you, that they support you, that they love you, that they're proud of you, and behind the scenes they're like, You know, they're wishing that things fall apart for you. They're wishing that you go broke. They're wishing that life just becomes extremely hard for you. Because they don't truly believe that you deserve what you have or something like that is kind of what I'm getting. What's the bottom here? Balance. Interesting. Balance. Gosh, I just feel like you need to there has to be balance. You have to recognize that you can't tell everyone your business. Okay, you can't I think you should think about the people that you talk to. Think about the people that you talk to and think about how much you express to those people. What is it that you say to those people? And then sit back and reflect upon what is it that they say to you. Imagine you're sitting down, you're having a conversation with somebody, and you're telling them, Gemini, you're like, yeah, I've been feeling like this, and I was doing this today, and, I was talking to this person, and they said this, and I felt like this, blah, blah, blah. And this person's on the other phone, on the side of the phone, like, yeah, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I went to the gym today, And then you're telling them all your business. They're not even telling you. They don't tell you nothing, right? You're having conversations with this person. They don't reveal anything about themselves to you. They're just sitting on the other side of the phone, listening and taking in all of your information. That's what you need to pay attention to, okay? Because you're the blessing that's coming in for you, Gemini, is that you're going to be able to see that you're not the people that you're talking to, the people that you feel like have your best interests at heart, they're not reciprocating your energy. And so you realize, man, they don't actually have my best interest at heart. They're actually kind of just I don't know, trying to pinpoint how they can infiltrate and like make things harder for you. Okay, Gemini. All right, Cancer. What's the blessing that's coming in for you, Cancer? What's the blessing that's coming in for Cancer? Oh, it's Two-Face. Lord have mercy. Okay. So Gemini just got the evil eye. Okay, so they got people watching them that, and you know what? All right, let's just talk about Cancer. So Cancer, you got Two-Face here. You got somebody that's two-faced. This could also mean that maybe you're being two-faced, okay? This could mean that you're not being completely honest and upfront with people, and you're showing people one version of yourself when you're actually somebody else behind the scenes, right? You're not being authentic. This could also mean that you're dealing with somebody who is two-faced, that they're not authentic. They're in your face, and then they're also in somebody else's face. They're telling you one thing, but then they're going back and telling somebody else something. You have to be cautious. Just like Gemini, there's something here about you having to be cautious about what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're communicating with people. Whether that's because of you showing up two-faced, or whether that's because, there's somebody else in your life showing up two-faced. Let's do the bottom of the deck here. Silver lining. So there is a silver lining. Okay, so I almost feel like this is your energy. Like, I feel like Cancer, you have to be, because I feel like you're showing up, and first of all, I feel like there's people talking about you. Like, I feel like there's gossip surrounding you. And it could be that maybe you're talking to one person, and that one person talks to another person that you talk to. And they're like, oh, they weren't like that with me. They weren't saying this with me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's the conversation that you have to have with somebody. Like, oh, you don't get me in this particular way because I don't trust you in this particular way. I don't feel like this in your energy. You know how people have those conversations where they're just like, oh, this person's being fake. They're being two-faced. And it's like, no, I mess with you in this way, right? We're cool in this way, but we're not cool in this way. So what I talk with this person about, I may not talk with you about. but you're two-faced because you're clearly talking to the person that I was already talking to behind my back, and you're having discussions about me that you could just ask me myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of getting something along the lines of that. But let me read from the excerpt for you. We're at 15. What is this? Number 32. Somebody here is 32 years old. You are not to be trusted. You are quick to negotiate your worth and to hand your power away if it means you do not have to work hard for respect. You betray yourself by not caring enough about your evolution. Keep your heart open, keep your mind sharp, and stay vigilant. Deception and judgment. Ooh. So this is more along the lines of you, Cancer. It's like you feel a particular way about people or a particular person and you don't say it to them. It's like behind scenes you're just like, I fucking hate that bitch. You know what I mean? I wish you wouldn't have said that. But in the person's face you're just like, wow, okay. I understand. But in the back of your mind you're just like, man, I can't. And you know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Cancer. At work, I was in the same position where I was just kind of like trying to save face, and I was just like, yeah, okay, this is okay, whatever, and like trying to be really cool with people, but behind the scenes, like I'm talking to the coworkers, I'm just like, yo, I can't stand that they do this, and this, and I just got to a point where I just had to just start speaking up, and I just started telling management, like, I don't like this, and this should be this, and I don't care if nobody agrees with me, but this is how I feel about how things are going. And you know, there's no two-facedness. You know what I mean? There's no like, oh, okay, I agree with what you're saying, and then behind the scenes I'm mad at you. No, I'm telling you what it is up front, so you don't even have to feel that way. It's kind of like you already know what you're getting. You already know how I feel about a specific thing. So I feel like if you want respect, you got to be up front, honest, and you got to stop trying to, hide in the background and act like you don't, certain things don't affect you. All right, Leo, the blessing that's coming in for you. Blessing that's coming in for Leo. Blessing that's coming in. Now, Leo, I am solitude. Ooh. So, solitude and I am. This is powerful. So, Leo, you're in a position, the blessing that's coming in for you is solitude. And in this solitude, you are going to recognize and acknowledge your true power. You are a very powerful being, and you're getting a chance to be in solitude. I don't know if you're traveling by yourself, or you're like going on vacation by yourself, or maybe you're just taking time off of work to kind of just sit in your own energy. Maybe you're doing meditation, or I just feel like there's something about you spending time pampering yourself, or like nurturing you, taking kind of care of the mind, body, soul. Working on boundaries, working on trauma, working on healing, working on loving yourself, working on building your self-esteem. Like, I just feel like this blessing that's coming in for you, Leo, is meant to allow you to embrace who you truly are. And I feel like you're going to step into a season where you have many I am statements. I am strong. I am resilient. I am loved. I am caring. I am resourceful. I am respected. I am honored. I am, I am grateful. You know what I mean? Like, I am powerful. I am willing to go the distance. Like, you're going to be in a space where you're just like, I am a conqueror. I am overcoming obstacles. This is like you stepping into a season of self-assuredness, and stepping out of a space of validation. It's like you're no longer needing validation. You're stepping into a season where you're no longer going to need validation from any external sources, because you're going to be so confident within yourself about what you want, who you are, where you're going, that you're that powerful. You don't need people to tell you that you're pretty or you're handsome. You don't need to tell people to tell you that you're successful. You don't need people to tell you that you're great. Okay? I was listening, I've been watching a lot of podcasts and and just listening to other women and learning about, self-respect and things of that sort. And there was one woman that talked about, if you are self-assured within yourself, I am a strong, loving, confident, independent individual. If that is how you show up, you know yourself, right? That is who you are. That's who you believe yourself to be. And you get into a relationship with someone who's trying to tear you down and telling you that you're not those things. When you're so self-assured, you know that what they're saying is not a direct reflection of who you are, but it's a reflection of who they are. And the only reason that they're coming at you with all these things and they're trying to hurt you and trying to abuse you and all these things is because that's what they're lacking, and they're jealous of you, or they're envious, or whatever the case may be. And I feel like you're stepping into this season where you're untouchable in that sense, where no one can come in and tell you, oh, you're this or you're that. That's who you are, how you are. It's like, no, I am this. I am. And you are, right? I am this. If this is I am this, then you can't tell me what I am. Okay? This is beautiful. Okay, Leo? Beautiful. Virgo. The blessing that's coming in for you, Virgo. Let's get one more shuffle. Blessing coming in for Virgo. Blessing coming in for, okay, the Fool and Two-Face. Okay, Virgo. You've played the fool long enough, okay? You've played the fool long enough. And somebody else just got this card, this fool energy. I mean, this Two-Face energy. You've played the fool long enough, okay? You know that you're the fool, right? You know that you've been playing the fool, that you've been able to see. Because I feel like the fool is coming out to deliberately say that you're a clown. Okay, you've been playing the clown, and you don't even realize it. You've kind of been playing yourself in a way, because with the clown, with this fool energy here, the clown here, it's giving me like you thought that, oh, I can see that you're being two-faced and you're playing in my face, right, Virgo? It's like you're sitting here like, you've been playing in my face. I know you've been playing in my face. You're a clown. But the whole time you're the clown because you've allowed these people to be two-faced to you. You've allowed these people to keep disrespecting you and treating you in a particular way when you know that you don't like it. And you think that you won because you can see through what they're doing, but you're not addressing it. You're not addressing it, and you're not letting these people know, you're not putting up boundaries, letting these people know that they can't play with you in that way, right? And so who's really the clown here, Virgo, right? Looks like you're the clown, right? Because these people are allowed to just disrespect you and treat you however they want to treat you, and you're not going to stand up for yourself. You're not going to respect yourself enough to put up some boundaries with these people. Okay, I want to read the excerpt because I'm curious to know what else this is. A divine time to start fresh. Smirks and rolls eyes are given. You know better, and when you know better, you do better. period. This card invites you to examine your surroundings. Are you entertaining healthy relationships? Are you ignoring undeniable deal breakers? Are you prioritizing your best interests? Are you moving with caution? Okay, these are a bunch of questions that you need to be asking yourself. This card encourages you to strive for improvement. You're the clown. You need to recognize that you are the clown in your story. You're acting as if, and I was in this position too. I'm sorry I have to keep inserting myself in, but you don't realize, you think that you are in a position of power because you can see through what people are doing and how people are acting with you, but you're not. You're not in the position of power because they don't know that you know. So you're sitting back and you're like, oh, I know that you're doing this. But they're in the position of power because they keep getting away with disrespecting you. They keep getting away with crossing your boundaries, with treating you in a particular way. And they know that they can keep doing it because you're never going to stand up for yourself. You're never going to defend your honor. You know what I'm saying? Wow. This is a powerful card, by the way. It's time for you to start fresh and for you to examine how you show up, examine your friendships, your relationships, examine your surroundings, the people who you spend your time with. And it's time for you to start over with expressing yourself and telling people what they can and cannot do when it comes to you. Okay. Wow. Okay, talk about it. Libra, the blessing that's coming in for you, Libra. What's the blessing that's coming in for you? I don't even know if these are blessings or these are just advice cards for this type of reading. Libra, what's the blessing that's coming in for you? You want me to read all these? They said, I'm going to read them all because they fell out, but wow. Because these could be different there must be a lot of Libras that are getting this message. So you have fertility, caged bird, evil eye, familiarity, and honor your word. Okay. So fertility coming out is specific. I feel like this could talk about a baby. It could talk about something growing. Something being fertilized and something going to be growing into something else. Okay. This is so Libra. Okay. There's a lot going on here. Okay. You got people that you're really familiar with that are giving you the evil eye. And in giving you the evil eye, they're putting you in a box. They're putting you in a cage. They're making you feel like you only are allowed to be in this particular person. You're only allowed to be in this particular place. They're putting you in a box, making you only connect with what's familiar to them. It's kind of what I'm getting. It's this is what we believe. This is how we believe. It's like a family who has this ongoing tradition over, a span of 50 years. They're this is what we do. This is how we do it. And then here you come and you're just I don't want to do that anymore. I want to try this. And they're just no, we're going to do this. And they just try to cage you in. And if you don't do what they want you to do, then they send the evil eye. They kind of wish that, things fall apart for you so that you kind of come back to what's familiar. Fertilizer could be people trying to plant seeds or kind of trying to do things that make you feel stuck, right? It's almost like they try to I'm not even gonna go there. It feels too complicated. We also have honor your word. So it's honor your word. Do what you said you're gonna do. Okay? That's the only way that people are gonna respect you. And if they don't respect you and they don't love you, then you're gonna have to kind of move around from these people. Honor your word. If this is something that you want to do, if there's something that you don't want to do, speak up for yourself and honor that. Honor yourself. Honor your word. I will do this. I will not do this. I appreciate this tradition, but I don't want to do this. I'm going to do this. Just because it's familiar to you doesn't mean that you have to abide by it, right? I think that there's a thing about, family honor, and, a family's doing this as a tradition for so long, or like something like that. It's like we have to stick by that, and it's like, no, because you have your own journey, you have your own path, and it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a cult, but it's like, a family's been doing something. It feels beautiful, right? Because it's familiar. You're connected to a lot of people who've already been doing it for so long, but then you come into the picture and there's something about your energy where you don't feel as connected to it, and you want to do something different. Well, do something different. Honor your word, honor yourself, honor what you want. Let's read some of the excerpt because I haven't seen this card yet. Stand 10 toes deep. The ability to speak your piece and stand your ground takes time, practice, and courage. The more you practice what you preach, the more rewards you'll receive. Take pride in the conversations you engage in. Is there anything to learn or teach? Do not waste your breath on gossip or tasteless banter. There's no use in cursing yourself. Be careful what you breathe life into. Once your word is given, protect it. Be a person that others can depend on. Do exactly what you say you're going to do. Okay? Period. Scorpio, the blessing is coming in for you. Blessing is coming in for Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio. Is this picture allowed? I don't even know. I'm going to kind of cover it up, but it says orgasm. Okay. So, Scorpio, what are you doing on the 13th? Okay, Friday the 13th? No, I'm kidding, but you may get some pleasure this week, okay? You're going to get some, I feel like you're going to get your body rocked, for sure, Scorpio. I feel like you're going to be having a good time. This card is also, it's technically not sexual, right? This card is technically not a sexual card when it comes out. It's meant by its own particular depiction when it comes to this card, this book. It's meant to mean that the orgasm of life, what fulfills you and makes you kind of just gasp and feel like so enthralled, right? What takes you there, right, in your life? That's not necessarily sexual, okay? Because Scorpio, I got you exactly where I want you. I don't know, something like that. Somebody got you exactly where they want you, or you feel like you got life exactly where you want it. Like, I don't know. You are freaky. Okay. All right, Scorpio. You have the tools that not many can obtain. You never limit your experiences by being closed off or closed-minded. You are open to all things diverse, and so you benefit. Your seeds come to life. Your energy exudes poise. You fancy conscientiousness. You do what you can to level up. You strive for climatic adventures. Your love is like Disneyland, silliness and playful things only. You honor your inner child by having fun and diving directly into the thrall. No specific order, no specific rules. You don't ask for permission from anyone. That's not what I thought this meant. But do your thing. Do your thing. And I'm going to leave it at that for you, Scorpio. Sagittarius, the blessing that's coming in for you. Blessing that's coming in for Sagittarius. Sacrifice. Okay. There may be something that you're going to have to sacrifice, Sagittarius. Okay. Bottom of the deck is kin. No, I'm joking. But there's something that you're going to have to sacrifice here with, Something here about the moon cycle as well. Sagittarius, I feel like, you're going to have to sacrifice something to get something else. I mean, is kind of the name of the game here. It's like if you give this part of yourself, or you let's read from the excerpt so I'm not butchering the message. It says, you are being called to introduce new themes of healing to your community. You are being pulled to teach others how to love themselves. For once, this is not about you and you only. However, you will not be able to guide a soul if you yourself are still wandering. This is a time to become a recluse. Reserve your vitality for the most significant of things. Master stillness. Share what you've learned when the time is right. May your sacrifices be acknowledged and appreciated. So, you've made some sacrifices in your life, okay? And in doing so, you've gained a lot of experience, you've learned a lot, and you've been able, without realizing it, you've indirectly and directly have taught people how to love themselves and how to search for more when it comes to becoming the best version of yourself. And you've had to sacrifice a lot along the way. You've had to sacrifice maybe club hopping and like going out and having a good time. You've had to sacrifice maybe relationships, romantic or platonic. You've had to sacrifice jobs, that you really wanted, but you decided to leave because you weren't being treated properly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've sacrificed a lot to get to where you are, to become the person that you are. You've taught a lot of people about this along the way. And the blessing here is that your sacrifice is giving life to people that you don't even realize. You don't realize that you're speaking life into particular people every single day that you show up. And you become the best version of yourself. And so whenever you think about the sacrifices that you have made in your life, never overlook them, never belittle them, because those sacrifices, though felt small, or though feel small, they didn't feel small when you had to sacrifice them, right? They actually felt really big. And they're not small, right? Because those sacrifices that you made sacrifices that people coming after you, the people that are learning from you, they won't have to make, because you had to make them first. You made that sacrifice, and now those people now learn from those mistakes, and they get to show up better. It's like being a sibling. It's like, being the oldest. You were the guinea pig, right? We were guinea pigs. If you're the oldest, I'm the oldest. We were guinea pigs, right? To our parents. And so we went through, breakups to makeups. We went through, struggling through school and, work life and things of that sort. And our siblings that came after us, they got to see, oh man, she doing that. Oh, she did that. He went down crazy for that. Our siblings get to watch us and say, damn, okay, I'm not going to do that because she did that or he did that and it didn't work. So let me try to go in this way. Or, this is how this person became this person. They became this reserve, or they became to love themselves and respect themselves. They did this. I'm going to do that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to go through the particular experience to get this knowledge. I'm just going to do this particular thing to love myself better. You know what I'm saying? Like, your sacrifice meant so much. And you have to know that. Okay. Don't think that was such a small feat. Capricorn, the blessing is coming in for you, Capricorn. What's the blessing that's coming in for Cappy? If they all fall, we gotta pick them up. Forgiveness, fall back, and free expression. Wow. These cards have not come out yet. I almost want to see what's at the bottom of the deck. Bear fruit. Wow. So forgiveness. Okay. The blessing is coming in. You got someone that's really wanting to forgive you. I feel like you are in a space where you want to forgive as well. And this is a blessing because you're finally able to release and let go of some things. Fall back. Man. Fall back. Free expression. This is beautiful. And I can relate to this. I am a Capricorn. And I want to tell you why I can relate to this. Because when you hold on to resentment, you kind of hold on to the pain, you hold on to this bitterness. And in doing so, it's hard for you to tell an accurate story. You know, when you're really, really angry about something and you're mad at somebody, you're so mad to the point where some of your story that you're giving is a bit fabricated because you want to paint this person in like the worst way. But when you forgive someone and you allow yourself to free yourself from that pain or that emotion, you get to see things in a better light. And when you fall back, you get to kind of see things as a whole, and you in when you express yourself or when you talk about how you feel, it's coming from a much more authentic and a much more free space because you're not pointing fingers in a way. It's kind of just you being you're giving an objective observation of what happened rather than a subjective one, if that makes sense. It's still pretty subjective because it's what you've gone through, your own experience, but it's objective to a point where you're not directly trying to implicate someone, if that makes sense. Which is beautiful because you're finally in a space where you can finally tell your story without it feeling like an attack, and you teach people and you're able to allow people to people can relate because they don't feel attacked. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's a message that you're supposed to be, that you're going to be getting out, right? You're going to be speaking and expressing yourself in a way where maybe you weren't able to express yourself or say something like this. This is number 16. And I feel like there was something when you were a child or when you were really young that you didn't have that type of expression, that freedom of expression. You weren't able to do that. You didn't feel like you weren't able to tap into that vulnerability or be that authentic with yourself. And now you're able to actually step into that space. This is very, 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 very beautiful for you, Capricorn. Wow. I'm just going to leave it at that. All right, Aquarius, what is the blessing that is coming in for you? Blessing for Aries. I'm loving these readings. Miscarriage, out of sight. Stillness. Okay. This feels a little chaotic. I'm not gonna lie. Aquarius feels a bit chaotic. I want to say I apologize. I don't want to trigger anybody, so this is letting you know that now. We do have we do have miscarriage here. So some of you guys have lost a child, and I'm getting goosebumps. So this is absolutely true for a particular person. Again, I apologize. But there's the blessing that is showing up here for you, Aquarius, is the sadness or the pain that you've experienced has made you I don't want to say not unbeatable, but there's like you can't be fucked with. Like, there's people can't come and try to mess with you. Like, there's, when you lose someone, or when you lose somebody that you're so that connected to, that pain is, and I've never personally, but I can imagine how, like, painful that would be to go through. And I just feel like there's a sense of the world could kind of just be on fire, and you would just be grateful. You know what I mean? There's sense where, like, you would just be super grateful that you're alive, and, like, you think about the positive, because it's just like, I don't want to say it's delusional. It's slightly crazy, but it's like to the point where it's like I've faced the pain that could have literally killed me. And now that I've come out of that fire, out of that pain, I'm able to see things in a different light. Like, there's a blessing here of you being able to see things in a light that's like, it's not many people get that, because not many people are faced with that type of pain. And it's a blessing, you know what I mean? It was a painful situation for you to go through, but it turned into a blessing in a way where your perspective on life is completely different. The way that you view life, the way that you enjoy life, the way that you handle people, I feel like it's just very different based off of what you've been through. Is kind of what I'm getting here. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into it. It just feels like, nothing can affect you the way that you were affected when this loss happened in your life, is what I'm getting for you. Okay. And I feel like it's a good thing, because the places that you're going to be taken, you're going to need that sort of mindset to where you're not easily swayed by external factors. Last but not least, Pisces, the blessing that's coming towards you. Blessing that's coming towards Pisces. We've got forgiveness and silver lining. Let me read silver lining for you. Someone else got this card along with some other ones, but silver lining for Pisces. Okay. Your optimism pays off. The days of disorientation, rejection, affliction, and instability have come to an end, and looking back, you can make more sense of them. Your heart feels absolute. Your mind is tranquil and serene. You've prevailed through a multitude of turmoil and disadvantages that you were convinced you would never make it past. You've gone through relationships that were severely toxic and terribly demanding. Overall, you made the right choice by removing yourself and choosing your mental health and self-development before all else. There will always be a silver lining somewhere nearby. So, the blessing here is you choosing yourself, Pisces. You've had to forgive so many people. I mean, Pisces, I feel like you've had to forgive an unnecessary amount of people in your life that you would have believed had your back forever and ever. And in forgiving these people, like, it's come with you being positive. It's come with you just being able to believe that there's always good people in the world, and that just because these people treat me bad, or these people have hurt me, these people have rejected me, doesn't mean that every single person. It's like you always believe in the silver lining. You always believe that there's good people out there, that they're, life will be good even if it's bad right now. Life is going to be good. It's going to get better. Just this level of optimism that you've been able to maintain, that have just gotten you over, through over and over and over again. Okay. Wow. I feel like the blessing here is that it's like you're always protected. You know what I mean? Like you're always protected. You're never going to completely fall off because of this mindset that you have. You know, you're always going to be protected. You're always going to be okay because you're always looking at the silver lining. You're always believing that there's nothing is permanent. It's like you stay in a state of what society would call delusion. Instead of seeing things as they are right then and there, you believe that there's always something better and something more beautiful, regardless of the situation. And so I feel like you're always protected, and that you're always growing into the best version of yourself, because you're constantly forgiving and you're constantly aware that people have flaws, and nothing is permanent. So